Bizzarp.
Welcome back to another episode of the MTG Minutes. Your host today is Mark Selby as he explains the new mechanics of Oath of the Gatewatch. He'll also be showing you spoilers on the new set, and, of course, the Commander of the Month. So hold on to your hats, cats, it's the MTG Minutes! Hey everyone, I'm Mark Selby, and for those who didn't know, Oath of the Gatewatch comes out this Friday, January 22nd, 2016. It's a 16-inch set put out by our favorite peoples ever, Magic the Gathering. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about it today. First off, we'll talk about mechanics. And we're going to talk a little bit about the spoilers. I have a couple spoilers to show you, talk to you about. I'll have a link to the story. They've already put out the first 4 chapters of it. Again, they're doing it online now instead of putting them out in books. I think it's just a cost-effective thing. Mechanic-wise, there are 3 new mechanics. So the themes of mechanics, first off, the set's going to introduce colorless mana. It'll have its own special symbol, it's like a diamond, which will differentiate it from generic mana. And it'll be used for cards that depict Kozilek's brood lineage of Eldrazi with a card called Wastes, which is the first typeless basic land. They are twice as common as a normal common and boosters, so prepare to get a lot of them. As for the mechanics, there's 3 new ones. Surge, which is you may cast, this spell for its surge cost if you or a teammate has cast another spell this turn. Support, putting a +1/+1 counter on each of up to X target creatures. Cohort, an ability word for activated abilities requiring tapping the ally creature and another ally. To express the theme of planeswalkers forming a team with game mechanics, R&D also created cards that encourage the player to use multiple planeswalker cards. They have, one of the things I'll spoil later is that they have legendary enchantments in this one from certain planeswalkers, and a lot of the cards do well if you have multiple planeswalkers, just lots of multiple colors in general. Lots of cards that seem to do better the more different mana colors you have. As for the story, I haven't really read too much of the story. I know that Omnixilus is back, and he's fucking shit up for them. Every time they're like, hey, we're going to actually do something to fight off these Eldrazi, Omnixilus is like, well, I don't really like the Eldrazi either, but I don't like you guys more, so fuck you. It's kind of awesome, actually. I like it. But I'll have the link to that. They have the first 4 chapters. I think the 5th one debuts on the same day as the set releases. So check that out for all the story you need on what's going on. Also have a link to the mechanics, so you can check that out if you want to. Spoilers. I have 4 cards for you. Out of all the spoilers, I chose 4 cards. I didn't want to go too heavy on the spoilers like last time. First off, we're going to go with one of the oaths. One of the legendary enchantments is it's a different one for each planeswalker that's on the side of the Zendikari. The first one is called Oath of Gideon. It costs 2 colorless, 1 plains. When Oath of Gideon enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 white core ally creature tokens onto the battlefield. Each planeswalker you control enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on it. So, I mean, that's pretty badass, and it, again, is for decks with multiple planeswalkers, it really helps that out. They all have certain things. There's Oath of Jace, Oath of Nisa, and I think there's Oath of Chandra as well. and each one does its own thing depending on its color and so on and so forth. So check those out. There's also, of all the different Planeswalker cards, Chandra Flamecaller is the new one for the set. And she's kind of a freaking beast, actually. She costs 4 colorless, 2 mountains. Her +1 ability is you put 2 3/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Her 0 cost is discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards +1. Her -X being Chandra Flamecaller deals X damage to each creature. So I see that and I'm like, that's gotta be a blitz deck. That's gotta be something that you do not care if anything survives or not. You are just there to deal as much damage as quick as possible, and I love it. That's really cool. Hoping to pull her now. Then I chose 2 different legendary creatures because I love Commander. There's a new angel, and I already hear David shaking his head as he listens to this, but there's a new angel named Linvala the Preserver. Legendary creature, angel. Flying. She costs 4 colorless, 2 plains, so more of like an end game, I guess. Not really worth it to me, cost-wise, but I mean, she's an angel, so I understand. Anyway, 5/5. When Linvala the Preserver enters the battlefield, if an opponent has more life than you, you gain 5 life. When Linvala enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Like, it has its uses, but it's not cost effective for what it does, in my opinion. As a commander. Now, as a normal card, yeah, I can see that. You have to have some way to bring it back. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I might be completely wrong. I'm sure people will find plenty of good ways to use this card. One I do really like is Cletus, Trader of Get. He is a legendary vampire warrior. He costs 2 colorless, 2 swamp. He has lifelink, and the ability, if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead, exile that card and put a 2/2 zombie creature onto the battlefield under your control. So his other ability costs 2 mana, or 2 of any color, and then one swamp. Sacrifice another vampire or zombie. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Cletus, Trader of Get. He's a 3/4, so that would make him 5/6. Not bad. Not bad at all. I could have fun with that one, I think. And hopefully I get him as well. Him or Chandra. That's kind of who I'm going for at this moment. We'll see. Busting through this right now. I'm trying to get to the Commander of the Month. We've decided that MTG minutes will probably be monthly from now on, as there's not a whole lot of news, and when there is news, it's usually about tournaments, and a lot of people will just go to the MTG website for such news or follow it already. So anyway, Commander of the Month this month is another one I've been trying to get my hands on. It's a little pricey right now, but his name is Elesh Norn, Grand Cenobite. He's a Praetor. He's from Modern Masters 2015. It just came out, and that's already still too pricey for me. But he's also from New Phyrexia, which I think you understand immediately why he's pricey. But he costs 5 colorless, 2 plains, so more of an endgame commander. He has Vigilance, and his abilities are other creatures you control get +2/+2, and creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. As such, I was thinking about making it. I love Outlast. I love that ability, that mechanic from Tarkir. So I was thinking about adding him and making an Outlast deck, and just all the counters for everybody and all the negative counters for everyone else. That was my my thought process on it, and I've been looking for this card for a while. Been online. I'm kind of a butthole when it comes to buying cards, though. If it's a card. All in all, to me, it's fun. It's a great game, but it's still a card. I don't want to pay a certain amount of money for one card. I understand how good it is, but I don't play to win money in tournaments and stuff like a lot of other people do. So the price has to be there, or else I don't. Yeah. But Les Norn, Grand Cenobite, check him out. I'll have a link for him in the description as well. I believe that will wrap up the MTG Minutes, episode 4. Oath of the Gatewatch! I'll edit that out, actually. So that should wrap up episode 4 of the MTG Minutes. Thank you for joining me. Once again, I am your host, Mark Selby of the Bizzarp Network. You can check us out at www.bizzarp.com. That's www.bizzarp.com. Thank you.